B10, I'm politicking with the politickers.
Alrighty. Straight politicking on all you mudda suckers.
Oh, he done flipped it again.
All you mudda suckers. And I'm here with the mayor, Munchie B, and Spider Loke, the most easty.
Alex don't even know I got an EP entitled Politicking I put out like in 2018.
Oh, okay. You never brought that up, huh?
No, I just now realized the correlation with our title and the title with that.
I know you did say that the show has the same initials as your name, and then Munchie said, well, nah, you're really SPI.
Right.
You're not just SP.
But he don't know it's a lot of people that don't even include the I. I'm just SP to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's this SP show. Welcome to my co-host.
All right, I got a fact check, man. I was bragging a little bit last week when I said USC has sent the most football players to the NFL. I was just actually it depends on what year, because right now USC and Notre Dame are neck and neck. So as of 2024, Notre Dame has sent 532 players to the NFL and USC sent 530. But in 2021, it was tied at a 511. So it kind of fluctuates. And
They're the top two.
yeah, they're and the third, I forget what team was the
Georgetown.
third. No, I don't know. I don't have it here, but the third is like way down. Like they have no chance of catching up to USC or Notre Dame.
So with that being 1,000, say so, roughly players between the two of them, how many players total are we talking about have ever been in the NFL?
Oh, that I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
The history of how many players, man.
Right.
We talking about. Well, I don't know if we just talking about the NFL, which really didn't exist until 69 or 70.
Well, just
the
what-
merger.
Whatever those
Yeah.
statistics would apply to.
Yeah. That I don't know. But USC also has either the most Heisman trophies or they're tied with Notre Dame, and then they also have the most gold medalists. It's a lot. I was shocked that a West Coast university actually has the most in so many categories, because we have all these East Coast universities that are way older than USC,
Right.
100 years older than USC.
Well, my prediction, my guess is number 3 is Georgetown.
All right, we'll definitely fact check that maybe before this episode is done.
Yep.
But another basketball star that I forgot about that came out of USC. You mentioned DeMar DeRozan. I mentioned Harold Miner. I forgot O.J. Mayo. I believe O.J. Mayo definitely have reached that status of a star athlete. You remember? Is he still playing?
That name does not resonate as well with me as the other two.
No, but O.J. Mayo definitely had a nice run in the NBA.
I'm not here to deny that.
Yeah, and I would say he definitely reached star status.
Shout out to Mayo.
O.J. Mayo. There was a great athlete out of Inglewood that came to USC. I think I asked you about him before, Munchie. His name, and he had a similar name to the person that was connected that took you to that school where the dude from 60s was tripping.
Bosman.
There was an athlete that came to SC. He was so nice. His name was Stace Boseman from out of Inglewood. I thought dude was going to be the next, major star professional athlete, and then Stace Boseman just fell off.
Hold on, NFL or NBA?
I think he did. If I remember correctly, I think bro was both on the basketball team and football team.
Yeah, the name sound like it's supposed to ring a bell.
Stace Boseman. Whatever happened to Stace Boseman, man? If you out there, man, I used to watch you on campus. I thought you was the next greatest thing, and then that must happen to so many college athletes.
Definitely.
They just fall off. But
And you say just fall off, but I'm sure if you ask Mr. Boseman, he didn't just fall off.
I don't mean no disrespect.
Yeah, there's probably a whole story behind him.
But
not being in that position.
I just mean they know what I mean.
Probably went overseas.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these players, they you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, man.
That's why I wish the best.
I wanted to talk about, just briefly, what is Payola Defined? What is Payola? Because last week we had a nice exchange, or it was the week before last week, where you felt like, hey, that's just marketing and promotion, right?
Yeah, because the other part is suggested to be illegal, and if I look through my understanding of the history of the industry, I think that it's like you get caught, it's all bad. You don't, it ain't.
Well, I think today's current, there's really, Payola was defined by the radio stations back in the day. But because the radio stations aren't as influential, because everybody got a platform, we got Spotify, we got iHeart. Now it's digital. It's a different form of marketing and promotion. So I'm not sure how does Payola fall into the current technologies. as if that makes sense.
It makes no sense to me to even have a word such as payola, because they, to me, seemingly are suggesting the opposite, that these airways should be open to what we consider a talent show. I don't even get that concept.
What you mean?
It costs to open up the airwaves. There's money involved.
Yeah.
So now someone, just based on what is supposed to occupy them the majority of the time, based on what other criteria other than they paid, like every other space that is established in our communities.
No, if you got a banger and you get your play, you get play.
Well, I know that's what we would love to know. Well,
Because you know it's people that end up on the radio by accident.
no,
Like,
but
you know what
I'm saying, who pays to have the radio established for you just to make a banger and should be able to just have a form to throw it up and become rich just because you got a banger? How do we have that right as music creators? Who says we have to have a radio there for us to have these rules for our music? I don't understand where that discussion even comes up at.
But it do be local bangers that's buzzing through the streets, and then the DA, damn, this is straight politicking. The DJ will spin it based on it's a hot record on the street. It didn't come through nobody trying to push it or pay to get it played.
That when you do a radio, you start realizing the DJ has the least power, and it's the program director is the one that really has the power to have your radio added. It's one thing to get a DJ to utilize whatever flexibility he has to throw your record in the mix or something. They do what they can, but they can't get your record really added to radio, especially as much as these days as in the past.
But okay, that seemed like it's more legal when you doing that with radio, but when it comes to streaming, it starts seeming like it's cheating.
Well, I think it was cheating with the radio too, because there's a belief that if you can convince this radio station to play your song, Spider, enough times, people will start to like it more, and it becomes a hit because of the constant playing of it, as opposed to you trying to naturally, organically grow the song
That's
into a
the
hit.
exact same reason people spend $1 million for Super Bowls, commercial spots. This is America. Who spends money to establish anything, any type of business, to be forced to allow people to have access to it for free?
A Super Bowl commercial don't get played repetitive though.
Every commercial costs a lot of money for
On
you.
Super Bowl day during the Super Bowl.
I specify Super Bowl, but it applies to every single commercial we see though.
Oh yeah, no, because that particular day you're not getting play back to back to back. But I know what you're talking about because I know some commercials I know by heart. And I can just,
Yeah, it's the corporate way. It's the way things go.
All right, let me read a couple definitions and see if that has any impact on your opinion.
I'm loving it. Before you really loving it, you feel like you're loving it.
you know who wrote that jingle?
Yeah, the boy Clips.
Papa T. I mean, Pusha T.
Okay, payola is defined by the Merriam-Webster dictionary as an undercover or indirect payment for a commercial favor as for promoting a particular recording.
Yeah.
Don't sound bad.
Well, it's undercover, a secret payment. That's what it is.
That's the only part sound bad. The undercover part.
I think at some point it was some portion of the industry trying to put a wraps on something that somebody didn't like and they had some power, but I don't think it really speaks to the integrity or the morals of the people involved. I think everything in America is pay for play.
Okay, let me read one more. This one is a little more direct. A secret or private payment in return for promotion of a product, service, through the abuse of one's position, influence, or facilities.
That's so difficult to regulate. They leave it. That's somebody that has some power, like Drake, got their feelings hurt and lost the competition, and they started legislating on behalf of their loss.
But what about the idea of a song being played so much that you have influenced and manipulated my thinking into this song as a hit, not because of the song itself, but because you've repetitively played it in my head?
Songs could grow on you.
Yeah.
But it's been songs like that. I know they getting paid to spin this, and I just skip it because I'm either getting tired of it or I don't like the song.
I played.
It don't work all the time.
Look, I've been studying a couple people, and I've played their songs at multiple times just to get an understanding of the lyrics. A couple hours later, I find myself humming them dumbass songs while I'm in the bathroom.
Bro, that's a phenomenon we've been dealing with since children. But the thing is, the commercials right after the songs operate the same way, and those commercials are paid spots.
Hey, I guess.
Foothill Nissan, you know that rings a bell. Neither of us have ever been to Foothill Nissan.
That's not undercover to pay for commercial ads though.
So
they saying like, you know what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying. Undercover word was tricky.
Payola is the illegal practice in the U.S. of paying a commercial radio station to play a song without the station disclosing the payment. By law, a radio station has to disclose that they were paid to play a song as sponsored airtime. Otherwise, the FCC views it as a violation of their sponsorship ID rules. So it's paying to be played on commercial radio. But here's what it is not. Paying for internet radio, paying for blog placement, paying to perform, paying for a feature. I've seen people claim all of those things are payola and they're all wrong, but somehow people seem to mistake paying for anything means payola. That's not the case.
Okay, so you might this is a similar situation where they say college athletes should not be paid, football players, and the agents that pay them, they pay them secretly in exchange for you gonna sign to me when you turn pro.
See, and that's an incentive for the payment that can be judged on the basis of integrity, perhaps.
Yeah, but now you have a college player who's got his rent paid,
Now.
who's got his refrigerator full, who's
Right.
coming on that field Saturday feeling strong and rambunctious against a team or against an athlete who doesn't have that luxury. Nobody paid him for groceries, rent, or other things.
But now you got athletes that's gonna stay the full 4 years in college to get their education because they not rushing to get to the bag and go pro because they getting compensated now.
Or maybe they're not. If you're good enough, you're not staying 4 years.
But hasn't in
Some is though, bro.
the college has been less demonized now with the news system, right?
Yeah, we talking about the paying.
Yeah, with the athletes getting paid.
Well, they're trying to figure out a way to put some money in their pockets because they've been arguing this for like 30 years.
It's very logical.
No. Athletes is getting some chili now.
Even in junior high school, even in junior colleges.
You talking about, yeah, some of the college athletes are, but it took like 30 years of debating this.
Right.
What's it called? NLA, NIA?
NCAA.
No, the payment for the student athletes is it's NLA or NIA.
I haven't followed it up, but the NCAA was against it all for years.
Yeah, but that's over now. There's a system in place where they getting their check.
Yeah, they getting their change. Because I used to play NCAA football, and they never had the names on the back of the jersey.
They didn't want to have to pay.
And they getting money off these, you know what I'm saying? And they fill up seats when they come to cities.
Right.
Student
Those
athletes
stadiums
play.
are almost twice as big as NFL stadiums at times, right?
And then you got cases where you got these student athletes going out robbing people, accidentally killing people because they hungry. They in school and they, you know what I'm saying?
But they're generating all those funds, bro. It's and they trick you with a free education.
All right, well, regarding the payola, I think the issue was certain promoters who had the money, they could dominate the radio stations and have their music played, which you're cool with, but while they're doing that, it's preventing somebody else from getting their music
Don't
played.
make it personal with me saying I'm cool with it. I'm saying it's the way of every other industry operates that way. What other industry is protected from operating that way? Just name me one.
Hey, Payola Jones, like, he got his son. You said so. People that deserve to get their shit played, not getting it played because somebody doing the payola route. That's what James did and got his son on the bench, and somebody else deserved that spot. Same difference.
Bronny?
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah, that's nepotism because I don't think LeBron James had to pay any money. It was just his influence. It was just him.
Do you remember the local situation that made payola a big thing on our hip hop scene, on the radio and all that?
Here in LA? It must have been in the 80s?
No, I'm not talking about time that we should be able to recall as adults, young adults.
No, because by the time the 70s and 80s came around, they were cracking down on it. So
Nah, this is in the early 2000s. We had a scandal out here, bro, on Power 106 type shit with the Mizza and his artists. He had an artist that was out here just popping heavy, and his whole shit got attacked and crumbled. You know the dude. If I say his name,
Say it.
I can't think of it. So that's what I'm saying. I was hoping somebody else could. If he always look up shit over there on the Mizza. It blew up the Payola. If you put the Mizza Payola, the artist name would play. But he was on. We all got real familiar with his style and his sound.
Hey, so if it's like super payola, right? Is it payola across the board? Because I go to Miami and they radio sound different from ours. The shit they play and all that shit.
Very local. It has a local sound, huh?
Yeah, I was feeling
Everywhere it's like that,
yeah,
bro.
every city got
here.
a weird. I don't want to say weird.
a different
Unique.
We just so used to LA that we go to another city. We're in Cleveland and listening to radio. It sound weird.
But what he's expressing, I believe he sees everywhere else has more of a local artist presence that hasn't blown up worldwide on their regional radio, right?
Yeah, something like that.
More Miami people
they more in house. Like LA radio, we play a lot of people from other places.
You know, we don't have an urban radio station outside of KTLA any longer, and KTLA has dedicated itself to the old school. So all the other radio stations that we have that we call popular, Power 106, they're rhythmic stations. When you go to Miami, they have actual urban radio stations still where all the DJs are black. When you go to Power 106, the only people black in there are like, there's no DJs.
Big Boy.
It's some Hispanics up there.
Big Boy is, I learned, not a DJ. He's a personality. It's a big difference. Big Boy really doesn't have a business of music in his contract of wherever he's at.
Yeah. I remember listening to Big Boy in high school on the radio, and he was doing jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he funny.
DJ Felly Fell. It was Big Boy. He had a DJ with him. He wasn't the DJ. He was a personality.
And then he used to do
Not Felly Fell. I'm sorry.
He used to do the phone taps. Remember the phone taps?
Luther Lufe.
Luther Lufe.
That shit still pop.
Man, how long ago was Luther Lufe?
Fuzzy Fantabulous, was he DJ?
The name sounds familiar.
He used to be He used to be with Big Boy, but I don't know if he was a DJ. Used to have Big Boy used to have a DJ with him.
All right, let's move on to for the boys and girls that are listening out here. We all know that gang life is not the life you want to live. You do not want to venture into that. So I want to read a recent arrest and conviction of a Los Angeles area gang member that just happened. This is I'm gonna read from the Justice Department, and then I'll read from the local news. Okay. All right, this is from the Justice Department. A member of Gardena 13 street gang was sentenced today to a life sentence in federal prison for murdering a 29-year-old man in furtherance of Gardena 13 in front of the victim's home in November 2020. Justin Ortega, 24, a.k.a. Hitman of Gardena, was sentenced by Judge Andre Barat. That's a brother, by the way. He used to be a prosecutor. Now he's the judge, who also ordered Ortega to pay $37,000 in restitution. At the conclusion of the 5-day trial, a jury on July 1 found Ortega guilty of 1 count of violent crime in aid of racketeering murder. He has been in federal custody since December 2020. Let's see, what else did they say here?
Ortega, his name is Hitman, or that's the victim name?
No, that's his name.
Okay.
Hitter. Did I say Hitman?
Yeah,
I meant to say Hit. Justin Ortega's street name is Hitter.
Okay.
On November 13th, 2020, the victim and his brother were seated in a parked car in front of their home where they were confronted by 3 men on foot. Ortega, Antonio Yanez, 26, known as Tank, George Hernandez, known as Little Vampy, who were all armed with handguns. They had 3 dudes with 3 straps. Yanez and George Hernandez were members of Gardena 13, and Ortega was an associate of the gang. Following the victim's perceived disrespect of Gardena 13, the 3 assailants pulled out a gun and began shooting the victim. After the victim had been shot, the victim's father stepped out to help his son, at which point a shootout between the victim's father and assailants, including Gardena 13 member Jesus Hernandez, a.k.a. Rowdy, occurred. What race do you think the victim and the victim's dad are?
Black.
Straight up. The brother, who was a non-affiliate, got into an argument with one of these Gardena dudes. I guess it went disrespectful, and they killed the son. The father came out and killed one of them. It's crazy.
Does it make it a racial incident to you?
I don't know. It depends. It depends on what was the argument about. It could be racial. It could be just personal.
It's overflowing.
Yeah. But I wanted to point that out to ladies and gentlemen. Now these everyone lost on both sides. The father lost his son. One of the gang members got killed, and the other's going to do life in prison.
And the father doing no time.
No time for
the bust his gun. That's right.
Yeah.
Shit.
The father.
Did he hit something?
Yeah, he hit one. He hit Rowdy.
Oh, he knocked something down.
Yeah, he hit Rowdy, aka Jesus Hernandez. They don't say in this article the specifics. They don't even have the father and the son's name in this in their press because they want to protect the victim's family. But I did some digging and I found a better article. Well, I won't say better, but a more informed article.
Okay. So they killed the two dudes in the car?
No, the father just killed one of them.
And so it was attempts on them.
And the 3 other Gardena dudes killed the son.
And only one of them went down for it.
I think they all went down. They just sentenced Hitter. They just sentenced him a couple days ago.
So basically, they charged them with that murder of their homie getting killed too. Though that was with them. You know how that should go.
Yeah, sometimes they do. I don't have all the details of the trial, but let me read this from KTLA News. It just says here: a member of Gardena 13 will spend the rest of his life in prison for murdering 29-year-old man in front of his home on November 2020. The DOJ announced on Friday 24-year-old Justin Ortega of Gardena, known as Hitta, was sentenced after a 5-day trial. The LA Times says Ortega was a recruit from Gardena 13 at the time of the shooting, and that, according to prosecutors, Ortega wanted to prove that he was worthy and he had been dying to become a gang member. Bro was 24 years old. Some of these versions that they say in the court, it'd be BS.
Ortega.
They sent, he's 24.
So he got recruited to be a gangbanger at 24.
That's if you believe the prosecution story.
Yeah, I was just thinking that wasn't the part that caught my ear, but just the way they try to word it and make it sound so dramatic in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He was dying to be a gangbanger.
Yeah, all that. I didn't know that. That's the article.
That's the article.
Well, that's not a legal brief. Okay.
No, but it's based on the prosecution's theory.
Okay, but okay, I get it. I understand why it was so colorful now.
The problem is Ortega didn't have a well-documented past of being a Gardena 13 member. So they had to make him a gang member for this case to make sense.
And his parents and those supporting him probably gave that type of expression of who he actually was, showing old pictures. And
Yeah, because in the other thing I read, it said he was an affiliate.
See,
as the other guys were members.
Said, yeah. But I thought they were saying that the victim was an affiliate.
No, the victim was not. After the victim was shot, the victim's father, who the LA Times says was a retired federal agent, allegedly stepped out to help his son, at which point a shootout between the father and the gang members occurred.
A retired federal agent?
The dad.
He got a free kill.
Rest in peace to his baby boy. Now I know that had to be a traumatic ass incident, bro.
Ortega was arrested 4 days later at LAX as he was preparing to board a one-way flight to where, y'all? Mexico, according to the DOJ report.
And I sent you a song on this subject the last time we discussed it, and you never listened to my song and see how it fit into the subject matter, bro. I'm going to resend it.
This defendant senselessly took a promising young life and will now spend the rest of his days in federal prison. Gang violence brings devastation on our most vulnerable communities and immeasurable pain on hardworking families. My heart goes out to the victim's family, and I applaud them for the courage and support. Hey, I wonder if the dad still lives in the same house in Gardena.
I think he do. I think he do.
I don't know.
I hope not.
I don't think he's scared of him.
Yeah, but it can create a problem.
Yeah, and then you know what? Sometimes we can fall victim to our lack of fear. Fear sometimes is a wise feeling for survival.
I don't think the father's scared at all, but he's got other family members, we're assuming.
Yeah, not
I
mean, I don't. Obviously, he doesn't seem like a scary individual, but like you said, out of wisdom, sometimes movements may appear to be out of fear.
When you figure out your agent, you probably want to stay away from it, thinking you being watched, trying to go over there and mess with him anyway after this. You know what I'm saying?
Them fools be nosed out, boy. I just can't trust that they're gonna expect what I established necessarily. You might have put it down majorly, like you bet not, and find somebody high enough to still cross the line.
And can you imagine if you lived on that block? That must have been a chaotic day, boy.
Especially if those are like all families that have been there, so everybody knows everybody.
You know how those streets in Gardena are. It's all houses.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty nice, but they got a couple hoods out there.
Oh, you get cracking in Gardena, but you know Gardena, especially all that. But you know the Gardena High School is one of the high schools that experienced a lot of that racial tension too. Through the years.
More recent or back in the day?
Through the years.
I know this. Gardena Threats ain't one of the hoods that's like one of the racist gangs though, and they close knit with Shotgun and Payback. Like they close knit on some Gardena shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you say the female thing, yeah, then you couldn't take the ass whooping after you took an ass whooping and he took your female. So like, or if that's how it went, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, I was in a hospital visiting someone down in the South Bay. And the Gardena, it was about, 5 or 6 Gardena 13. They was visiting someone on the same floor. And then they came over to me and said, we watch Street TV. Mm-hmm. And they was cool, you know. Yeah, I ended up chopping it up with the Gardena dudes for as long as I was in the hospital.
I know for a fact they not on that list. They not on that list. Although every hood got them, but they not on the list of the racist Southsider gangs.
Shout out my boy Capone from Gardena 13. I knew I had somebody on my phone that I
Is
had.
that right?
Yeah. That's another homie too, but when I put his hood up in his name, I must have got his name. I don't want to call his name wrong.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
Damn, his iPhone won't tell me all that, but it's been not like last year.
I wonder if what he knows about this, but he probably
Let me know, Capone. Bang my line, bro.
Yeah, this was a crazy story. And you know, when you get life in the feds, it's very unlikely that you're gonna get anything less than that life sentence. It's not like if you get life in the state, you know, you get all these new laws.
It sounds like that case is only federal because the agent was the one that was busing.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's weird that these cases be picked up by the feds.
Yeah, because it was an agent involved.
That's probably it.
A retired agent.
Everything else you said, me too. I wouldn't understand why it would be considered federal. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm glad you. Who picked that up? Who knew? Yeah, why would it be federal other than that?
Yeah, it's the agent.
What makes that? Just neighborhood violence? Somebody died. How's that federal?
Well, I was trying to figure out why they wanted the smash and grabs in Beverly Hills get picked up by the feds.
I know federal also sometimes kicks in after a certain amount of money is a part of the crime.
I think that it falls under the whole bank thing. All bank robberies are federal.
Because I know my cousin went to the feds for making checks, but if you look at it from outside looking in, it was like a mediocre operation. But he explained to me is once you whoop the government for a certain amount of money, it's federal. It don't matter. Like we were just making checks, but we was making checks at a certain level.
All right. Do you know anyone that got impacted by any gang curfew laws by the city of LA? Because if they did, they're entitled to a portion of this $30 million that some attorneys were able to figure out that the city was wrong for imposing curfews on adult gang members.
Wow. See, how broad is it going to be? Because how many people were affected just because after curfew, but once the police pulled up on them, it turned into something else?
And they ain't gonna fall up under that.
Oh, you read over it?
No, I'm just taking a while, like ghost gas, like
Okay.
you know what I mean? 'Cause you know, like probably if you went to jail for gang junction after dark, or just like you know, sometimes niggas on probation and they had a curfew back then.
Right.
Do that? Is that they talking about that? Like if you was on probation and you had a curfew?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that'll be some time ago though.
So you saying we should start seeing coming down our social media the advertisement, if you was like how we see about Los Padrinos and all that, it should be floating around soon. 30 million?
So my thing is, yeah, I don't know. It'd be hard for me. I'm trying to think where I fit in with this shit. No, for real.
Yeah, but don't knock my chances because I'm trying to figure out where I fit in too.
All right, let me read this article here from the Gazette Extra. It says Los Angeles had plans 10 years ago. Life after 10 years. Wait. I'm tripping. I'm reading this all wrong. Okay, the title of this article, LA promised $30 million to people wronged by gang curfews. Why has only half the money been spent? And let's see. To jumpstart his dream, the formerly incarcerated entrepreneur was counting money from the city of Los Angeles, specifically $30 million settlement fund for thousands of Angelenos affected by gang injunctions, court orders used by law enforcement since the 1980s to restrict which places a person can frequent.
Ain't enough money, bro.
No.
1980 till now, 30 million. You know the people been affected? What's that, $3 a piece?
Yeah, well, after a federal court found curfews included in the injunctions unfairly punished people based on their neighborhood or family ties, the city agreed to pay up to $7.5 million annually over a 4-year period that ended in 2021. Anyone targeted by LA's injunctions challenged in the lawsuit are eligible to benefit even if they were not arrested for the violations. So if you're from a hood that was named in an injunction,
I was
in the city of LA,
Me
though,
too. So Munchie, that means
they city of LA or Inglewood though, or they
Nah,
live in LA
see that-
County.
this says city of LA,
yeah. So see, that's what I'm saying, bro. That remember at first I was saying,
like the 60s. Anybody from 60s, they entitled to a piece of this pie.
but
They were named.
it's broader than what it might include. What I suggested earlier too.
So I'm saying, is Inglewood included in that?
No, it's not, because it says here in the city of Los Angeles, the city of LA. If
Not
this,
Compton, not Carson.
yeah,
We
it says
just talked about Gardena a moment ago. We off that. Now we on LA.
Okay, so
I'm just saying, make it clear.
Yeah,
It's like you want it clear,
No,
man.
I want some money. What you talking about?
it even says here around 6,000 people are eligible to receive a portion of that money, but the city data cited in court filings shows that 7 years later, less than a quarter of them have actually been compensated, with around half of the funds left untapped.
Wait,
Because half of them is they in prison right now or they locked up.
hey, that sound like, but 6,000 in the 30 million don't sound that bad, bro.
Yeah, but the lawyers got to get their cut for fighting it.
Okay, but let's before we do all that,
I was going to calculate that.
Okay,
shit
go
right
ahead.
now. But I'm not really sure how
without
this.
the lawyers, just spread out. I think it's about
just the 30 million?
Yeah, it's about 50,000 a piece.
Let's see what that is. 30 million.
Man, I don't even care. That's supposed to go for everybody across the
No,
board.
we got to salute for everybody that win, though, Munchie.
Man, I don't care about that.
Oh, that sound haterish.
It might be.
Okay.
It might be a little bit.
No, that's 5,000 a piece.
5,000 still, that's a lick.
Over they see 5 months annually.
No, 6,000 people should get 5,000.
Yeah, 6,000 people are entitled to $5,000 each. That comes out to the $30 million, if I did that math right.
That would be worth a little paperwork. Shit, get the little 5 piece. No?
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah, definitely.
absolutely. Yeah, 5,000. That doesn't seem right though, huh? You would think.
I thought it was 50.
I know. Hey, $30 million.
30 million. Did you make sure you put 30 million or you put 300,000?
No, I put 30 million. Yeah, 30 million
I ain't trying to challenge Alex on those numbers on camera.
divided by 6,000.
Niggas are
5,000.
calculating.
They doing Compton, Inglewood, Long Beach wrong. For real.
But you know what? This opens the door for other attorneys to sue those cities.
And y'all got a lot of action over there in Inglewood right now. Nobody else. As
far as what?
bro. I mean, the whole world. You guys are highlighted. It's like a tourist attraction now.
I want some money, bro, for going to jail for nothing, and y'all just bothering me because I'm walking down the street with my long life friend from kindergarten, and we go to jail.
All right, listen to this. It says the city's Economic and Workforce Development Department, which is overseeing the payout, said in an email that it does not comment on pending litigation. In court filings, the city has argued that it fulfilled its obligations under the settlement and kept the program up and running past its original 4-year timeline. The city has argued that it is prioritizing payments for new enrollees, but Gerlandi Gudetti, a lawyer for the plaintiffs, remains unconvinced. He says that doesn't explain why some have been told that they're not eligible, that they're only eligible for $10,000 or less, citing as an example the class member with the party supply business. I don't know.
I'm confused now.
Yeah.
If 10,000 or less.
So they eligible for more, basically.
Yeah.
And it just basically says here the city hasn't been dispersing the money to. I guess there's a cutoff date too. If you got to apply for your money by a certain date, and
somebody probably done smacked that fund so hard that shit probably not even there available no more, bro.
it better be.
Because right now they got a big scandal about. I don't even try to. Money disappears in these big old systems, bro. Man. Misallocated, all type of shit go down.
Hey, but that's cool because now Compton, a lawyer could sue on behalf of Compton, even though the money won't be as big as $30 million, because you only got a handful of gangs in Compton that have an injunction. And then Inglewood, I don't know. Inglewood only had the Crenshaw Mafia has had an injunction.
I think I may have been affected by the LA and Compton injunctions, though. I might get doubled up on them checks, man.
Inglewood Threats 8, Inglewood Family, Crenshaw Mafia.
Yeah, I remember the Mafias got injuncted back in '97.
Yeah, they had it first.
They were the first ones, yeah. And that's when they was building all that stuff on Century. Mm-hmm. All that was dirt lots. Yeah, it was vacant.
Yeah, I remember
it was
the bottoms when it was through streets. It was going straight through.
I remember that shoe warehouse was a mobile across the street from the 76.
Oh, right on the corner of Crenshaw and Century?
I used to be a mobile guy. So.
Yeah, it switched corners. Used to be across the street, now the shoe warehouse over here.
Hey, but at least some people got their money if you was on top of this. But if you're a LA gang member and you was in any gang that was mentioned that has had an injunction, you're eligible even if you've never been arrested for violating the injunction.
Yeah, see, Munchie, you do include me.
Man, listen. Hey, look, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share this to my Instagram now. So you know what I'm saying? All the homies is my LA B-Dogs and LA Lokes, man. Y'all go get y'all money on. You feel me?
But it seems harder now to get the money than it was in the beginning.
And now we said it on the biggest podcast coming out of our culture. Everybody gonna be on it.
Hey, I want everybody that's been named an injunction to figure out the process and see what you can get.
Yeah, get your money on, y'all.
$6,000 or $10,000 just for being named in an injunction. Because what it does, even if you wasn't arrested, they impose the curfew on you regardless.
Exactly.
And apparently you can't be imposing curfews against grown men.
Right. With children, families.
And the thing about curfews, especially in Inglewood, not curfews, injunctions. Injunctions bring your property value down. And the people in the community, they didn't sign off on that. You know what I'm saying? They act like the people of the community be in favor of injunctions, and that don't be the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most of the time they're not with it.
I know the property value in Inglewood just experienced some increases, though, speedingly for quite a few years.
But if they try to come and put another gang injunction over there, that knocked the value down, even though it still be up there.
You got to run for mayor, Munchie.
Hey, I was at a gang injunction panel in the for Silmar up in the valley, in the San Fernando Valley. It was a panel, and it was 3 panels. You had the cops on one panel, you had the academics on one panel, and you had community on another panel. Cops were selling, hey, we need to bring an injunction here. The academic panel was saying, hey, crime is not even on the rise here. It's not needed. And the community panel was saying what Munchie was saying. We don't want our property values to come down.
Right.
We not with this.
Were you academic or community?
I was academic.
Okay.
Yeah. And I looked at the data for the Silmar community for the last 10 years, and I was like, looking at the LAPD, I was like, bro, crime is actually down in this community for the last decade. We have the data here, which comes from your office. And you're trying to sell an idea to the community that you need to do an injunction. And it was just bizarre, you know. But it's all politics, because every council member wants to seem like they're tough on crime. So they want an injunction in their council district.
Somebody get on to the Inglewood, man, so we can get our, our money for being put on documents we didn't belong to be on.
Hey, the way they did Inglewood was dirty, because I was interviewing one of the co-founders of Crenshaw Mafia years ago, 20 years ago, and he said, KB, he said he was working with the mayor's office, he was working with the city, and he was doing gang intervention, and they were taking all the information, the city and the mayor, about the Crenshaw Mafias, and then they flipped it on them and slapped them with the injunction. Duh. And they was like, bro, we working with y'all. Now you doing an injunction on us?
Well, you sure KB wants the world to know. That don't sound too cool.
It's an old interview from like 2000.
Oh, that came out on the interview?
Yeah. I did an interview in 2000.
Well, that just don't sound good.
No, but he was talking to the politicians and the
If you were telling
the council people within the city.
He names the politicians that did him dirty.
But if you were telling them anything that they could turn against you as far as your gang, then you were telling them too much.
Not about crimes and murders.
I didn't say, that's what I'm saying. I said anything. That's why I used the word anything. You tell
I think what it was is you have some dudes from Crenshaw Mafia that want job training. All right, who wants job training? All right, Leroy does, so does Jimmy. Okay, now we got 2 guys' names. They take those names and they're going to do an injunction against people that they claim to be helping.
Dirty.
It was dirty. Yeah. They claim to be wanting to help.
If it was that cut and dry, that's dirty, and that seems very unsophisticated to even attempt to pull that off on somebody, bro.
The Inglewood's injunctions didn't last that long. I don't think it lasted that long. Pasadena had one, the city of Pasadena. But yeah, I don't know if it makes sense for these cities that only had like 2 or 3 of them to sue, like Compton, Inglewood, or Pasadena.
Yeah, they was trying to come to my house and keep serving me with it. My mama answered the door, and they had a paper in there. Mom like, he ain't here.
What
they was trying to give mom, like, well, close the door. Like, they was trying to serve me with the injunction papers.
Was the Inglewood families named in an injunction?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then that, like, it was all the homies' names on the list and shit. And you know what I'm saying? It was like a little document. It said some of my cases I've been to jail for. It was like, you know what I'm saying?
Gang injunctions, banging functions. Everybody claiming something.
But hey, they're not used in the city of LA anymore.
I remember the 60s was calling themselves the Injunction Gang.
Yeah, Injunction Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pulled up on Big Cat the day that the 60s got an injunction. This is the way I was doing content. The 60s got an injunction in 2003. I was like, damn, I need to interview somebody that was named in the injunction. So I just started cruising around the 60s. I went down Bryanhurst, and I seen Big Cat. I was like, okay, there go OG, Big Cat. So I jumped out on him. I was like, hey, Big Cat, you just named an injunction. Can I holler at you? He was like, hell nah. I was like, hey, it's to help. It's to let people know that this. I said, are you cool with the injunction? Hell nah. I said, well, the only way we can get the message out there is if you talk about it. He was like, fuck it then. So I interviewed him for about 5-10 minutes, and it was dope. But then he ended up, I think he ended up going to the feds right after that.
Hey, if you go on my Instagram, MB_THA Mayor,
Yeah.
it's a picture of me and the homies at the park, and then on the picture say, what injunction? And we deep on here. Like, we still outside.
Police.
All right. Let's talk about this Jay-Z lawsuit, because it seemed like it might have taken a turn
Good.
in the last week.
Good. That's a breath of fresh air on behalf of the melanated portion of this culture, man. Our peoples. Damn.
But I don't know if it's completely determined at this time, but it's not looking good for the young girl that's 13 years old.
When I saw it with some pink meat, some pork, I was like totally off the.
I was off it when I heard the story because it just didn't sound right. It didn't sound believable at all.
You know, it's white meat.
No.
It's white meat, bro.
No. I know now.
Oh yeah. It's
But I'm saying, even when I figured it was a black girl, it just sounded dumb. It just sounded.
Have y'all had
manufactured.
a week to think about how young 13 is, though? We was talking about this age last week, bro. That is extremely young to think someone of a Jay-Z, somebody caliber, could be tricked by a 13-year-old. If they weren't tricked, you're saying they're entertaining. 13 bosoms, especially upon non-melanated women, don't even start to really develop at that point.
Okay, so if Jay-Z in 2000 was 33,
there you go.
You had 33 is the maturity to know what 13 is.
Yes.
Now, if you're 18, 19, or 20, you're not as mature, and you might not pick up on the things that a 30-year-old man would pick up on.
If you're 18, 19, or 20, that means you were 13, 5, 6, or 7 years ago. That's still a good enough amount of time to know the difference between, because if you're dealing with 16, 17, 18-year-old girls, you know the difference between a 13-year-old girl.
But some 13-year-olds could definitely look like the 15 or 16-year-old.
I don't want to argue that, because then it seems like I'm defending something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just like,
wise man.
No, for real. But you know.
But the problem I have here is why is the person that's doing the lawsuit, who's now, she's in her 30s, why is she doing an interview? Why is she giving an interview?
Because she's slow.
Was it authorized by the lawyer?
I don't know. So look,
couldn't have been,
if she was 13 in 2000, she's what, 36 or 37 now?
38, man.
38.
Okay.
Okay.
She's 38.
It says she's autistic though.
She sounds slow.
Okay, I got a clip from the news on this. Let's play the clip.
Tonight, Jay-Z fighting back against a rape accusation. His attorney filing a letter to the judge to dismiss the rape lawsuit against his client, citing an NBC News exclusive that found inconsistencies with the accuser's story.
You should always advocate for yourself.
It comes after our interview with a 38-year-old mother from Alabama who accuses Sean Diddy Combs and Sean Jay-Z Carter of raping her when she was 13 years old. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough.
She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party. She says at the party, she spoke to musician Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo. It's the Last Supper.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative for the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter both raped her. She says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up.
We rode home in silence. She didn't ask me what happened.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said, in remembering what happened 24 years ago. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, this incident didn't happen. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. A representative for Combs called the suit a shameless money grab.
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out.
All right. Just listening to the young lady, you can tell that, I don't know.
She's off.
I was trying to find a nice way to say that.
She off.
I think. Go ahead.
I know it was, say the word bullshit for me. Cause you said it a certain way.
But you said it though.
Yeah, that shit was trash, bro. After leaving here and everybody got wind of the story, I'm glad my mom and other women agreed that was BS.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, because the story doesn't sound right, bro. Ain't nobody getting dropped off. I didn't even know it was 5 hours away from where she came from. Ain't nobody getting dropped off at the VMAs, not knowing if they go get in or not. And just let their ride leave. And they just walking up the. Hey, I said this cap.
I think she lived in upstate New York, so that's a
Rock something,
Yeah.
Rochester, Rock.
Oh, Rochester, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
5 hours away.
Ooh, Rochester is a long drive from the city.
Oh yeah, you know about it. You know.
My mom lives in Ulster County, and that's only an hour away.
And her dad came and got you from 5 hours away, and you got in the car, and then y'all didn't talk the whole way
That's
back.
the part that's very suspicious to me. Pops had no questions of what a 13-year-old daughter had been doing and all that was weird.
No, my question was, well, not my question. My first thought was, if your dad picked you up, and I thought directly from the party, not the gas station, and you had some done, he didn't go to the law? Because it ain't like he's no gangster, no, you know what I'm saying? Well, me not knowing him.
Yeah, that's what make it bullshit. A lot of that make it bullshit to me. But what I can say is, just her tone of voice and her presence sounds convincing. If you just go by that, you would be compassionate personally.
She sound deranged.
But I mean, they can say that might be a result of her trauma from going through such traumatic, experiences.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough for the courts to just dismiss the case.
Yeah.
It's going to have to go through the whole process, and they're going to have to make her look dumb in court.
Yeah, they're gonna have it's gonna be a dirty thing because usually someone that's scheming and scamming would come across a little more slick. She seems a little too slow to be slick. That's what's the scary part to me.
Yeah, just because she sounds off and slow
Doesn't mean she's not
and
smart.
she had some mistakes in her initial story from 24 years ago, don't mean the case is going to go away.
Right. Because a lot of times those type of people that get advantage taken of them.
So
People who are slipping on their little, where we consider them, and not mean that she could do any better, but if she is definitely slow and she was younger and had enough confidence to be around somewhere, a lot of times those people do become vulnerable and victimized.
But I think Jay-Z has won the court of public opinion with her coming out with this interview, because definitely people are starting to say, I'm believing Jay-Z more than her.
That lawyer boo-boo too. Whatever. You said he was a sleazeball last time. Would you?
Well, I brought it up, but Spider said that they did something on the Breakfast Club. They analyzed his history, and they signed off that said he was a decent attorney.
I mean, just because he got victories don't mean he not no sleazy attorney.
No, but they really kind of spoke on behalf of his character and his history as an attorney. He's not just like a accident chaser is what they was trying to establish.
Okay, so she offered to take a polygraph test. So when that come back, she lying her ass off. Then what? Like,
But what if not? If she is, all right, yay, jigger, good shit, get your little pink ass. But what if she ain't? What that mother come back? She told the truth.
man, the house not even where the party wasn't even where she said it was
So
at.
you don't even want to. But wait, I just considered the opposite. I just want, for the sake of the conversation, what if it do come back that she's not telling the truth? That she is telling the truth.
All right, your shit facts over feelings. My shit facts over cap.
And it's money over morals. I like that too. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying though, you don't. If by chance she took a lie detector and it says no deception detected, where do we go there? Just in our thought process of jigger though.
Hey, it's going to go through the court system.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna even give her a chance at a hypothetical because she's so way off with this shit.
Say
You
less.
can't do black men like that, man.
Even if the black man, the D boy of our generation.
I wouldn't care if she was black. You trash if you playing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody assumed she was black to begin with.
I had more of a, I ain't gonna lie, I was more concerned as to what was being said until I found out she wasn't black. I ain't gonna lie, just because I don't think Jay-Z's interest goes that far as to where he would be predatory to try to acquire some intimacy from a non-melanated individual, that's all.
All right. I wanted to wanted to wrap up on this topic of how much money that the beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake has generated. I just pulled this up. According to streaming data, the beef between Kendrick and Drake has generated 15.4 million in streaming, digital sales, and publishing in the U.S. and Kendrick has won a majority of that money. So they're basically saying he really won the beef just by the
Monetary.
the monetary gain of it.
Right.
Let me go into more specifics. Not Like Us, Like That, Meet the Grams, and Euphoria accounted for just over 13.4 million of that figure. That's 80%. I'm sorry, 87%.
3 songs.
Not Like Us is the most profitable of the four, generating roughly 7.6 million, followed by Like That, his chart-topping collab with Future, Metro Boomin. That one was hard, though.
This nigga K-Dot killing it.
That ignited the war, racking up. That song got 4.6 million. The Spooky Meet the Grams has so far earned 795,000, while Euphoria made 441,000. So yeah, he won that, and I'm reading this from Hip Hop DX that broke down how much each song made, and of course, Not Like Us, the most profitable of all the songs.
That's deep.
Yeah, and then he let people eat too, though.
My question is,
No, it's over with though.
okay, here's my thing.
What you mean?
Got a copyright for that. That's like that. They Not Like Us beat yesterday on YouTube.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
I figured it wasn't gonna last long.
Yeah, that shit
you
was
mean?
temporary.
He got a copyright strike.
For that playing
Who did?
They Not Like Us, me on YouTube yesterday.
Oh, was you playing the song or was this instrumental?
I this is what I did. I have it on my Instagram showing the line around the stadium. Oh, it's the whole song. But I just watched it on YouTube and it copy striked me.
I think the way it was that he let people use the instrumental.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. Okay,
Yeah.
I tripped out.
Okay, here's my question though. I've listened to all these songs and never paid a dime for them because I go to YouTube. How are they generating this stream money, if you guys know?
I just assume ads. I just all I assume is ads. It's the only way I know streaming revenue.
$15.4 million in streaming revenue.
I believe that's all ads. Unless Munchie know better. I don't know how else streaming is, you know what I'm saying, financially beneficial outside of the ad revenue. But that song was played more than any one song I could recall in a long time, especially for a song that's unorthodox.
And they're saying these are conservative estimates right now. These numbers are going to go
And
up.
they're still growing. What?
Yeah.
It was probably a few days and weeks ago. They're still climbing.
Yeah, so I'm just shocked at the amount of money the streaming has generated.
What do you think about the Super Bowl situation now that Jay-Z think it's going to be affected or it's over the same thing, regular plan?
Oh, you mean is the NFL going to still ride with Jay-Z considering these allegations?
Yeah.
I hope
Nah,
so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's weak.
I hope so because it's just an allegation. It ain't.
They better.
I think 5% of America believe this girl.
I think more than 5% believe her.
More or less?
More.
Or more.
I go 5.
Nah, more than 5. Maybe 5% of black folks believe her. But you gotta remember, there's a whole bunch of America is pretty much like this girl all through the middle of America, and they
I
probably,
wonder if somewhere down the line she's attached to somebody's family that matters or means something in that, you know what I'm saying? How did she get this big ass stage being so uncredible? Or not incredible, uncredible, yeah.
All right. Any last remarks about the money that the battle generated, which makes him, for some, makes him the winner of the battle. Even though we were saying he was the winner of the battle, regardless of the money.
Yeah.
But the money definitely
Icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Then he about to kick off this tour. You know, he about to eat up, man. This the best year of his career.
Yeah, shout out to the TDE camp, K-Dot. He Ja Rule Drake for sure.
Also, you know that all these artists are in their prime right now.
Mid-30s.
And they're in their mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
I had a list of all the artists that had went big in 2024, and they're all. I think Drake is 38, Kendrick's 37. There's all these artists that are peaking right now in their 30s. which goes back to a conversation we had on a previous episode of when you reach your peak and then when do you start coming down. I think K-Dot will definitely have a career in his 40s for sure, though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, some people become superstars. The reason you are superstars because you break outside of all the norms, the traditional statistics. And I think K-Dot has established himself as one of those. Like a Prince. Prince didn't fit into any of the normal statistics of what normal artists experience. Him and Michael Jackson was astronomical.
Yeah, but they struggled to produce hits as they got older. They didn't. I think Michael Jackson's last hit was a song called "Butterfly." That was like
me butterflies.
That was like 10 or 15 years before, about 10 years before he died. He didn't have no hits in the last few years.
Yeah, but then there's no comparison to Michael Jackson's time before that. These other guys don't compare to what Michael Jackson had done up until their superstardom. If you could start from the Jackson 5 and all the hits Michael Jackson had up until then, these dudes are still trying to catch up.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but when it comes to age.
But maybe he had just been, but he was not just age. He had looked like a totally different person.
Ageism,
he was going through a lot of changes, bro.
How you say
age is just a number?
Ageism?
Yeah.
Ageism don't apply to A-list celebrities.
That makes sense. That's a good way to say it.
How so?
Because I know you about to throw out some names, and I don't want to disrespect them, but they not A-list.
But ageism impacts all A-list celebrities.
Who haven't impacted? It don't impact Snoop Dogg.
No, I'm talking about in terms of making a hit.
He broke. Yeah, well, that's why I backed out once he said making hits.
No. They still flourish, bro. They can still go off their old catalogs. They don't got a problem getting booked for anything.
But you can't take the extreme example, Snoop Dogg, and say ageism doesn't impact.
I could name a gang of A-list celebrities and ain't gonna affect them.
A-list celebrities and superstars are two different things. I think you're talking about superstars, Munchie.
Okay, superstars.
But my thing is that it's any of these A-list rappers still struggle to make hits when they get older, especially if they're doing solo music.
Go perform your
We
own.
already had this debate.
Yeah.
Remember we went through all that.
Yeah.
We showed to people.
So
Even Snoop, he needed collabs to make a hit later.
They still the ish though.
That wasn't the debate. That's what I'm saying. He said he made it. Munchie, he made it about hits.
Oh, what you saying? But I just said what I just said right now.
just making a hit. Just making a hit.
He made it
I
about
was
making
talking about
hits.
ageism though.
And I did some more work on this. You know who's got the most hits post 40?
I remember
As
you
a rapper?
reported it.
No, I don't know if I ever because I went and did some more shit. The most hits post 40 as a rapper with solo hits.
It's not Snoop.
Oh.
So I remember that was my guess.
It's Eminem.
Oh, Eminem.
It's Eminem.
I mean, that's not even impressive.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's Eminem.
I mean, it's still impressive though.
Not to me.
Why not?
Because I see obvious.
Because it's very difficult to have solo hits after 40.
Not when you're Eminem. Because guess what? You can't name one of them that you can recall that you appreciate. Like, oh yeah, that's my shit. And if you can, no one else can.
No, I'm sure there's quite a few people. I bet you Hoodie Hood can name some Eminem songs.
No, he couldn't. Remember?
No, he couldn't sing a bar.
And that's what I'm saying.
He couldn't rap a bar.
So how impressive is the person that's closest to your age, has the most hits, and you can't even relate to the music? That's not impressive.
I think you just hating on Eminem because he's a white boy.
Eminem don't collab
because
with
I
many
can't
people though.
relate to the hits.
You know that, right?
I can't even call them to memory right now. The hits.
Yeah, but he does have collabs. He's got collabs with Snoop.
Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
Listen, my point.
Dr. Dre,
My point was obviously missed. It's okay though.
No, but I'm saying it is impressive.
D12.
Even though it's Eminem.
I never said it wasn't impressive to you. What's impressive to an individual is personal. When I say it's not impressive, I don't find it impressive. That's a personal declaration.
Hey, could you name 5 people he collabed with?
Eminem.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'd have to look it up because I don't really be following Eminem.
But you're
like
impressed by that.
D12, Snoop Dogg and Dre.
50.
So do 50 got a song with him or that's?
Oh yeah,
that's
many.
artist?
He has many songs with him.
4.
Oh, he got some with Rihanna. He got songs with. Don't get me started. He got
Rihanna?
songs with Exhibit. He got songs with Jay-Z. He got songs. He got some collabs, bro. I ain't even no big fan of Eminem, but he done popped up with some of the greats.
This hard though.
Wasn't that hard? I gave you a good little roll call past the 3 yet.
After I named 4, you gave me 2 more.
I said Jay-Z. I said
Rihanna,
Rihanna.
Exhibit.
That's 3 at least.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be
And I
that
gave
hard.
you 50. You wasn't even sure about 50.
I just know that was his artist.
But he also collabed with him. That's another one I gave you.
Okay,
He don't work with many people.
I tell you, I just pulled it up. He's got a song with Lil Wayne. He's got one with Drake. He's got one with Rihanna, which you just mentioned. Dr. Dre, Juice World.
Juice World?
Who's SLA, who I never heard of.
Me neither.
Nate Roos, a song called Headlights in 2013.
I don't know who that is.
Exhibit, a song called Bitch Please.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's see what else. 50 Cent, Patiently Waiting. Akon, called Smack That. Oh, Smack That.
Smack That?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
that-
Okay, yeah.
Oh, man, he got a lot of collabs.
Yeah, Eminem, he was a hot feature. At
But
one
when I do my research, I'm looking at solo hits, not collab hits.
But what you're reading, that's not considered a lot of collabs for an artist that been around as long as he have.
But you never challenged. You never said he didn't have
Yeah,
a
we
lot.
got
All
more.
you said is who he collaborated.
He
I
got
said, can you name more than five?
Hail Mary with Busta Rhymes. One Day at a Time with how do you collab with Tupac?
Oh, that was
Man, that don't
that was selling verses after his death.
Yeah. Okay. Eminem got a song with Ed Sheeran, the singer called River. Lucky You with Joyner Lucas.
No, we already made our point, but we don't hear
you made your point.
catalog.
Okay. Nah, he got a lot. But yeah, he's got a lot of he's got the most solo hits post 40. All right, man. All right, that's another episode, man. I got some things to do. Thanks for tapping in. Our socials are in the description. We are on all podcast platforms, iHeart, Apple, and Spotify. And that concludes another fire episode of Straight Politicking.
I'm not impressed because Tupac said it's a white man's world.